Okay, so the first track, it might be called Stars of Summer, and it's a very rocky tune. It starts with a kind of a rocky riff, and it's quite aggressive. I'm using the guitar quite driven, the amp quite cranked up, and a fuzz, Germanium fuzz, quite vintage kind of sound, and the band as well is playing quite aggressively, and that's for the main riff and the verse, and it's kind of the lyrics are basically saying it's kind of contemplating the past experience and not wanting to have again kind of bad surprises again, maybe in after having met someone new in a relationship. So and that is the atmosphere, and that's the main theme on the verses. But then the chorus opens up as a much fresher, much more opening effect, and the song is saying, actually, I'm realizing that. Sorry. And the song is actually saying, I'm actually realizing that you are like the stars of summer, and so it's much more positive surprise than what I've would ever thought, and so that's the first song, and there's also this the line is saying, I'm just reading it, you are like the stars of summer, so quick to pull me under. It's like I've always known you all along. So there's this feeling of familiarity with that person that you love, and that almost like it feels like I've always known you, and you are surrounding me, and you're almost protecting me with the stars, like the stars above me. And yeah, so that's the first song, and it's I think there is a couple of verses and a couple of choruses. Then it goes into a little instrumental interlude, and then it goes into a solo, quite full-on solo, and then it goes back to the chorus, repeats a couple of times, and then it ends. Yeah, and again, it's the trio. Yeah. Yeah, the second track, it will be probably a tune called Free, and it's another rocky tune. This time is more it's more kind of driving pop rock kind of big rock tune. It's not fast, but it's quite intense pace and a little bit anthemic, I would say, at least the way I experience it. And the whole tune again is looking at daily routine things that we are all involved with, working and getting along the week. And then looking at someone else that is an inspiration, and I have many people that I feel inspired from. Sorry, and looking at that people as a reference of a beautiful example of being free, and the real meaning of being free and bringing freedom to this world, in this reality, which is sometimes is freedom of thought, first of all, and then he expresses himself in freedom of speech, freedom of expressing those thoughts, which I guess in this society are challenged. So so freedom is a big concept, and there's a vast array of aspects. Yeah, so I think that's the meaning of the song. So that is pretty much the content of, and the lyrical content, and as I was saying, it's quite I would say anthemic kind of sounding, quite epic, big sound, big again driven guitar and drumming really go for it, you know, and big sound, and the notes or the bass are really weighted and big pace and really punchy kind of sound, I would say. Yeah, that's the called free. It's going to be either free or free like you. So
was that number 2, number 3?
I think it's number 2. Number 3 is probably going to be this song called Way Back Home, and I can see actually now by describing the tunes like this, there is always a very similar or coherent, consistent approach, which is a place of maybe a place of challenge into, and the transformation, the road into a place of, the journey into a place of harmony. And this one is as well is called Way Back Home, and I'm just gonna read you the lyrics just because it describes better than my explanation. So it says, it's hard to hang a name on it, been sinking like a stone, been trying to run away from it, I need to let it go, and then go back to the life I know. And then there are other imagery kind of words, like I'm running through the overgrown in a never-ending field, I'll end up being overthrown, gonna run back to the real and get back to the life I know, and gotta find my way back home. And then it keeps going with all this imagery of going through very thick challenges into a liberating state. Yeah, and it can be anything. And by the way, I want to mention that most of these songs, in fact all of the songs, I've written them with Banan Infidel, so amazing songwriter. So I'm very lucky that we combine the two things. Yeah, he's a lovely guy. I really love him, so that's it.
He does a lot of pop stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. He does pop, electronic stuff, dance music. He's just working now with another big artist, and he's even playing guitar with this big artist. Yeah, amazing guy. I'm very lucky.
Who is it?
Tom Megan.
Tom Megan?
From the Kasabian, I think it was. Oh, yeah. I think he started a solo career, and I saw them playing with Banan playing guitar last year at the Shepherd's Bush Empire. It was a massive gig, and they've been touring, and now they're doing so well. So yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, I'm very lucky. The next song is going to be called No Longer Afraid, and again it's another similar theme where this one again is another, and for example Way Back Home and No Longer Afraid are quite dark sounding songs. They're definitely not commercial, I would say, in terms of sound, but maybe they would also be understood. Mainly the sound, and the sound is, I just want to, I think maybe it's worth saying, is highly influenced by that world of blues and jazz, and which is quite mysterious as a sounding, especially when it's combined with the driven sound, with the fast sounds, with some delay sounds, and quite dark sounding instruments and sonics. So No Longer Afraid is actually a double track song. It's quite fast, and he's using kind of a dark harmony as well. He's using this a progression of a couple of chords, but they're both using minor scales with a major 7. So it's a little bit unsettling, I guess, for the ears, and it might take a few instants to get used to it. As well, the song before, Way Back Home, is using very profusely. Is using a sharp 11 sound, which is really dark sound. It's the blue note, is the devil's note, right? The sharp 11. So No Longer Afraid is 2 tracks. Is one phase, which is the rocky one, and it talks about, again, the realization of not being in the right place, but actually being grateful that you, the loved one, allegedly is there, and so finally I can rely on this presence, and which I can see as a positive presence after maybe having seen, having experienced some negative surroundings. And in the chorus is saying, now that I've got you in my heart, I will stop swimming with the sharks, which is, it's just self-explanatory. And it's another opening, kind of sounding rocky and major, happy sounding thing. The second part, it's a new track, but it's connected to the same song. Is just it's a mini instrumental, and it's a more contemplative, bluesy and peaceful sound track. And just a couple of times I sing No Longer Afraid. I'm no longer afraid. So there's this sense of peace found in that instrumental, which is bluesy sound, peaceful music. So we are now at 5 songs. The next song is going to be it's an instrumental, actually the only instrumental in the album, which is called Passage, and it's highly inspired by the music of my guru, of my hero, who is, I was very lucky to be taught by this guitarist called Julian Casper. He's a continuous inspiration, and the harmony that is used, that was used to write this little tune, it was inspired by his playing and one of his songs, and it's just, I would say that it's a progression mainly. It's a progression of chords, slightly unusual chords, more kind of jazzy, I would say. They have this characteristic of not settling in one place like we would use to hear in a song. They tend to be moving, and they give this sense of a passage, a sense of moving continuously from one place to another. And yeah, that's the just instrumental. The next song is called "The Real You." It's a very rocky kind of, I would say, slightly Hendrixy kind of sound.
Store it and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it starts with a question at the beginning, asking, which one do you take, the red or the blue? Which one do you fake, the one you got or what you want to do? It gets easier, but it's still hard to lose. It's all questioning you. I'm questioning you, and I'm also questioning myself. Which one do you take? Which one is the real you? Which one is the real, true you? It's a big question, I guess, every day. When just managing in this world, to which path do we actually take in every little decision, every little decision with the world, with our responsibility, with what is expected out there, and what should be the actual compass to follow. That's the big challenge. And the chorus, it's almost like a prayer, and it says, carry on, keep it running, carry on, keep it coming. And then it says, such a messed life to choose. And then at the very end it says, such a good life to choose. So that's the real you. There's one tune called Human, or it might be Human like Carola. And this tune was inspired by this German lady, Carola Rakete, I think. It's a German name. And she was part of this NGO in the Mediterranean Sea a few years ago. She was the captain of this boat called the Sea Watch, and these NGOs boats are there to rescue people that are escaping, mainly from Africa. I guess mainly Libya. Most of the people die right there in the sea, in the Mediterranean, and she saved. I don't remember how many, but many people. Probably, I would imagine, 50, 60 people. She rescued them in the middle of the sea, and there was an order from the Minister of Defense in Italy at that time that all the harbors would be closed. They would not be allowed to take people in Italy from these NGOs. And after, if I remember correct, after about 10 days, she refused, and she broke in the harbor to save the lives of these people, because they were on the ship and they were nearly dying, and they were desperate, and some of them even in the last few days before being rescued inland, they started to lose their mind and jump in the sea just out of desperation. So she decided to break in, breaking the law, and that I found it very inspiring as a act of going against the written laws to follow the internal moral compass, and that song is for her.
So were they refugees from
Yeah,
Africa?
yeah. And it's actually the song itself is sounds the sound is a little bit more it's uplifting. It's kind of a blues rocky uplifting thing. It doesn't sound as dramatic as actually is the story, but yeah, and yeah, so that's what it is. The next song, number 10, is called Back to the Water, and is definitely inspired to be going back to freediving. Is I can read very briefly the lyrics. So it says, how do we keep losing track of who we are? Under our shirts we all have scars. All the masks I'm using don't hide a simple thing, dissolve away to my naked past, and I go back to the water. So every time I realize how we create either we put up masks, or we're confused about how we should behave. The idea is to go back to the water and let the waves carry me home. I want to go back to the water as a effect of healing and restoring where I belong to and what I should do. So that's almost like a ballad, classic little ballad, jazzy, very gentle, and I use also some sounds that are to me kind of echoing the waves and the water, and yeah, that's Back to the Water. The next song is called Good Times Are Coming, and it's again, it's a realization that maybe a situation is a bit stuck, so there's not really a way out, but we have to just get on with it, and it's also reassurance that the good times are coming. It's kind of a happy tune. Yeah, and there's a nice, lovely riff that I kind of just by jamming with the Banana Infidel, he came across, and we were just jamming on it, and we really liked it. So I kind of kept a similar element of it in the trio version. Yeah. And the last tune is a bluesy tune, more a shuffle tune, shuffle blues. And it's called How Long. Classic blues and jazz, a little bit intense, a little bit on top of pushing the poles, and really with this bass, which is kind of walking bass, toon, 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 that kind of thing, and the shuffle drums, and that kind of groove, and is the dark energy of the night, and it's a long night, and it's hard, and how long, you're wondering how long is it going to be. but then it's a realization that everything, I forgot what I was running from, but everything that I found means I'm never lost. So I don't care how long. And actually I'm starting to really enjoying being in that dark, groovy hunt or search. That's the vibe.
Very interesting.
In terms of sound, again, it's highly influenced by blues and jazz and rock from the late 60s and early 70s. Yeah.
With the writing process, how much of it was you going with the intention of achieving a song, and how much of it was just a kind of response to, or a reflection of how you were feeling at that time?
It was more a response of how I was feeling. Yes, yeah, it was more, yeah, which quite often comes with maybe with just by jamming or playing around, and that is expressed already with the music, maybe with just a little riff, and then the words are just. I realized I just forgot a song, but it's fine. It comes with the lyrics or the words are suggested within that riff, which are the expression of that emotion in that moment. Yeah, they were not intended to be okay. We should write a song about that, or no. It didn't happen this way. I mean, I would like to learn that way, but maybe next time I will do it. Maybe the similarity is there that I'm trying to listen to myself, and I'm trying to allow that message, whatever it is, maybe subconscious, whatever, to tell me what it needs to be expressed in that moment, and that I find it valid in the music, in writing music or song, as well as in freediving. So if you listen to yourself, you're doing what you're meant to do. That's at least what I've understood so far. And you're doing it safely, both in music and in freediving. If you don't listen to it and you're trying to do something else that maybe is you're setting up as an expectation, or it's an expectation from outside of you, I think that is dangerous, again, in music as in freediving. Yeah, so I guess the limitation is just being honest with yourself and understanding, okay, I want to express this. And then if I have written down the idea, is it actually the idea that I wanted to express? Yeah, so you can evaluate and be open to say, oh, maybe yes, or maybe no. Maybe actually I wanted to express this concept.